Welcome, my wise ones, to Instarion. Now, this game is truly crazy, okay? If you like games that have no limits, that break the boundaries of what is possible, I think you will be interested in this new indie gem called Instarion. Today, I'm going to do a brief preview of this game.
This is where the fun begins.
Creative and innovative experiences is exactly what we need more from independent game developers and the gaming industry. So let's take a look at this crazy game, shall we? Now, first of all, you need to understand that this game is massively ambitious, and I give it huge props for that. If you love games like No Man's Sky, or perhaps you were disappointed with Starfield, with how boxed in it felt, with the constant loading screens, you're going to enjoy this because this has no boundaries. It's a massive space sim with multiplayer missions that you can do solo or with a co-op group. And there's no cap with how many players you want to play with in co-op. So it's truly going to be massive battles, seamless exploration. Now you can expect massive PvE battles with thousands of projectiles going off over your head at any point during the battle, hundreds and hundreds of ships, and then going down onto the planet itself seamlessly and fighting on the ground with your boys as a unit. I mean, it's truly reaching for some crazy stuff here. The scale is insane, and I highly recommend that if you want to support innovative and creative indie games, go down below and wishlist this game. Links will be down below in the description and the comments. So first of all, it's the art style, okay? This game will run on absolutely anything, on lower spec systems, and even on Steam Deck and all of that kind of stuff. And I like that it's not going for hyper-realistic, photorealistic graphics. It's got a very, kind of nostalgic art style to it, which really kind of just pulls you in with its scale, the lighting, and all of that kind of stuff. But you can play this without having to chill out, on a 5090 or something like that, which is a big deal for me, especially having a large scale open universe like this. And you can even exit your ship, you can board ships, you can actually fight them on the ground, in space, so it is truly seamless with, going all the way down to the planet, all the way back into space, and that really adds to the scale of what's going on here. And you will be given missions to complete going across this universe that you explore. And it gets even more crazier because on the planet itself there's unique biomes across the planet, which is kind of nutty if you think about it. And yes, the art style does kind of allow for that to happen because it's not so resource intensive, but there is still so many projectiles going on, so many different ships flying around, so it works well without looking photorealistic, but the art style itself captures that space opera feeling, kind of harkening back to those kind of more nostalgic consoles that we all used to play on. The freedom of this game is what really makes this exciting to me, especially when it does come from a smaller team putting this together, having these large-scale battles. But you can even, enter the ship's interiors, walk around, and then go down on the battlefield and get your hands dirty. It's that kind of scale and ambition that I want to see more indie developers to kind of, try and reach for. Now, this isn't just a simple arcadey shooter out in space. It does actually have some of that space sim gameplay that you might be looking for. For example, when you are flying around in space, you do actually have to truly, be good at spaceship combat, and then infantry combat itself is a whole different ballpark. And as you complete missions, you will be upgrading different modules of your ship to upgrade and kind of fly around faster and explore more, which I think is a really nice system. And there's no cap with the co-op element, so you should expect this to be, a crazy fun time with a group of buddies. But it does actually have some space sim elements, so there is going to be atmospheric drag, there's going to be different gravity depending on where you are, and you can even exit your spaceship and just fly around like we've always wanted to do. So that is my brief preview of Instarion, a game that harkens back to, games I really love, like Star Wars Battlefront, the OG, Battlestar Galactica, all of this kind of stuff. It's going for big space opera stuff with tons of projectiles, infantry combat, and space sim elements. So I think that this is shaping up to be very interesting, and you should definitely keep an eye on it if you do like indie gems and you want to support ambitious projects. It is a very small team, and I do support them, and you know, their creativity, their passion, it does mean a lot. So check out Instarion if you're interested, wishlist it below. Thank you, my wise ones, for checking out an indie gem. I hope to cover more indie gems in the future when one truly does speak to me, as I do get sent a lot of them, but this one truly did look like it was doing something special, so I just wanted to highlight it today and give you my honest impressions so far and a preview of this game. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace out.